We are at Circuit Zandvoort for round 4 of Season 2 of the SCRL Red Bull Formula 1 Series for the Grand Prix of the Netherlands. The number 6 of Colin Dryberg will lead us to the green flag. Starting beside him is the 20 car of Ty Dent. Rest of the starting lineup for today's race. The first ever Grand Prix here in the Netherlands. And the first ever race using Circuit Zandvoort. This 11-turn, 2.6-mile road course. So I have no idea how this track will react to these cars. 8 laps is the distance for today's race. And the last round of Hockenheim Ring, Riley Spurley Tube scored his 3rd career Formula 1 division win. He'll be looking for his 2nd in a row, which only two drivers have done so far in this series. Hip Hop Anonymous in Season 1, as well as Nick Kinley, who won a record 3 races in a row at Circuit of the Americas, Suzuka, and Shanghai. So, round 4 here in Season 2 at Circuit Zandvoort. I think I'm pronouncing the track name right. If not, I apologize. A beautiful sunny day. 22 cars. Without any further ado, here's the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
The field is rolling off. Doesn't look like anybody's having any problems. So this is very interesting. You got 8 laps. Here comes Ty Dent to catch back up to start beside Colin Dryberg. Pull the belts tight. We are racing 8 laps here at Circuit Zandvoort. And there's a green flag. Down this front stretch. Whoops. Off towards turn number 1. Bad camera angle. Ty Dent trying to clear. But Colin Dryberg in his Mercedes trying to use the power. And Ty Dent will complete the pass coming off turn number 2. Into this turn right here. Very weird turn. You see Marcus Sasachi and Team Red Bull's main entry taking over 2nd place as we go up and now down the hill. A very weird track design. And Ty Dent has pulled away quite a lot already. I've never used this track, so I have no idea what's going to happen. Colin Dryberg back to 3rd. Richard Torres to 4th in his Ferrari. Jack Halleck trying to go past Marcus Sasachi and the Team Red Bull entry. Ty Dent goes a little bit wide, but he's able to maintain his race lead. Battle for 2nd. Colin Dryberg wants it back. Not able to get past the 27 of Riley Spurley Tube. As I mentioned before, won the last round at Hockenheim Ring. Looking to double down here in Season 2. But Dryberg's not giving up. He knows how to get it done here in the Formula 1 division. He won at Watkins Glen in Season 1. And we go to this weird camera angle. And that is 1 lap around Circuit Zandvoort. And Ty Dent will lead the first lap. Crossing the line in 2nd is Riley Spurley Tube. 3rd is Colin Dryberg. 4th is Richard Torres. He's trying to go for 3rd now around Colin Dryberg. Looks like Richard Torres will complete the pass, moving Ferrari up a spot into a podium. You see Marcus Sasachi moving up, well, actually keeping Trey Wright behind him. Trey Wright, our winner at Bahrain. Oh, excuse me, Melbourne. Tony Newman won at Bahrain. Where is our Season 1 champion? Where's Nick Kennedy at? There he is. In 10th, he is just outside points. He needs to get up to 9th at least if he wants to gain a point. The way the formula system is, they reward points for only the first 9 drivers. Ty Dent maintains his race lead. Riley Spurley too trying to cut into it. This track looks neat. Never used it before. I didn't know what to set the AI strength at, so I just put it at 70 just so we can have everybody at equal footing and not have a lot of crashes. We've already seen a lot of crashes within the first 3 races, so I figured let's cut it down just a little bit in this race. Ty Dent, 1 career win to his credit. That was winning the season finale of the Classic Truck Series about 4 or 5 years ago. His wife, Cassie Dent, a multiple-time winner in this league, won at Talladega and the NASCAR Legends Series. There's Sebastian Torres in 12th. Nick Kennedy has dropped a spot to his teammate, Carter Friesian. Carter coulda, woulda, shoulda won Hockenheimring, but spun out. Coming to, he brought out the caution, so he lost a spot getting a win. Riley Spurley 2 seconds behind Ty Dent. As you mentioned before, Ty Dent has not won in 5 years. So you know he's going to go full throttle through this race. But Riley Spurley Tube is slowly closing in. The lead is only 2 seconds. Spurley Tube, one of the greatest drivers here in the open wheel. A 3-time winner just in the Formula Series. Scored his 3rd career win, of course, in the last race at Hockenheimring. Trying to go for a championship. And you do that by finishing consistently like in the top 5, top 10, and you could possibly get a championship. As Trey Wright is going to lose a spot to Marcus Sasachi. He might lose one to Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Of course, Zachary Fitzwater Jr. is competing in the Formula 2 division. Let's see, the lead was 2.05. Let's see what it is this time. Yep. Trey Wright gained 0.02 of a second. So Riley Spurley Tube needs to pick up the pace just a little bit, or possibly have Ty Dent have a problem, which of course is always a possibility. Currently in last place, driving for Toro Rosso, is Tanner Hill. In front of him is his teammate, David Solomon, and the other Toro Rosso entry. Nick Kennedy trying to go past his teammate, Carter Friesian. There you see Trey Wright, once again trying to go past Marcus Sasachi, but is not able to do it. Sasachi in the Team Red Bull entry. The highest run-in Red Bull. And Ty Dent is slowly extending his lead. As I mentioned before, looking for his first win in over 5 years, I believe. It's borderline 5. Won the Classic Truck Series finale at Homestead. Has been competing on and off ever since, but has never visited Victory Lane since. His brother TJ Dent has also been competing, but TJ has also not visited Victory Lane in several years. Of course, don't start handing out the champagne yet because anything could happen. We saw in the Formula E race where Sammy Sabri Jr. led every single lap, and then on the last lap he blew an engine and he lost the race. So anything could happen. As we come off the final turn, Let's see what the lead is now. It was 2.2. It's now 3.2, so he gained almost a full second. We got a big gaggle of cars right here, starting with the Mercedes 44 of Steve Larker, teammate to Colin Dryberg. Racing with the Toro Rossos as well as the other Red Bull entry. Battle for position. Sebastian Torres trying to go past Cassie Dent. Not in the preferred line right here. Now he's in the preferred line, so Sebastian Torres should move up a spot, and easily does in his Ferrari. Sebastian Torres, who finished second in the last round at Hockenheimring. Came so close to passing Riley Spurley-Tube in the final 2 turns, but Spurley-Tube blocked him. Nick Kennedy still trying to get around his teammate, Carter Friesen. The Season 1 champion, after 3 rounds, has yet to score any points. So Nick Kennedy's chances of repeating as champion is looking duller as the season continues. And you see Richard Torres has basically caught the back end of Riley Spurley-Tube, which is allowing Ty Dent to just pull away even more. So at this point, this is Ty Dent's race to lose. He basically has a full turn advantage over his closest competitor. 3 laps to go. If a caution comes out, this race will be over. He has a 4-second lead now. So as the cars are running right now, it looks like Riley Spurley-Tube will not win back-to-back races, but he will get a podium finish. So there's that, and he will receive points. That's the main goal. You want to receive points. And you see Carter Friesen has moved up a spot past Joseph Huffman. That will be for a point, because the driver who finishes 9th will receive 1 point. And Nick Kennedy, he's back there waiting to make a move on his teammate. That's the bad thing about the formula point system, is only the top 9 receive points. So that means everybody from 10th all the way back to 22nd will receive none. So you got a lot of favorites not receiving any points, like Nick Kennedy, who is the all-time race winner here in the Formula Series. As you see, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. trying to go past Colin Dryberg. This will be for 4th. Of course, Dryberg started first. He didn't even lead. Well, he led the first turn, but then he got passed by Ty Dent. And Ty has led every single lap since. So not the best race for Colin Dryberg, considering he started first, but it is a points pay-in day right now. Back up front, Riley Spurley-Tube still trying to catch Ty Dent. Ty Dent leads him through the final few turns. The official will give him the 2-finger signal. 2 laps to go. Here's Zandorf. Lead is now down to 3.5, so Spurley-Tube gained just a little bit on Ty Dent, but I think it's a little bit too late. You see Nick Kennedy has lost ground with his teammate Carter Friesen, and he's about to fall into the grasp of Sebastian Torres and his Ferrari. Battle for position here, Colin Dryberg and Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Dryberg is able to maintain 4th, at least for now, but Fitzwater will have the run on the inside line right here. But Dryberg with a run on the inside will maintain 5th spot. 4th is Jack Halleck. Richard Torres is 3rd. Riley Spurley-Tube is 2nd. And of course, leading the race is Ty Dent. Part of the Dent family. has a 3.5 second lead. He just has to hit his marks for the next lap and a half, and he will score his second career win. His first in the open wheel world. Slowly making his way through the S's, making sure he hits his marks. Riley Spurley Tube has to beat him. Ty Dent just has to ride around, hitting his marks each turn, and he should be able to hang on for the win. Off the final turn, Ty Dent will see the second greatest thing you could ever see. White flag, 1 lap to go for Ty Dent. Can he make it back? He has a 3.7 second lead. He gained 200ths that lap. Everybody is almost single file. That's usually what happens when you get on these road courses. They spread out very fast. Now it looks like the way they're running, Nick Kennedy will once again not score any points. And this is important. Joseph Huffman and Carter Friesen racing for 10th, now 9th. Huffman is able to maintain on the inside. Carter goes wide. Here comes Nick Kennedy. He wants 11th. I don't think he has the preferred line, though. Back up front to our race leader, Ty Dent. Mentioned before, he took the lead in turn 2 on the first lap. Has led every single lap since. Has been unchallenged, basically. Riley Spurley Tube has tried to make it interesting, but not close enough. He just has to ride around for the next few turns. Through the S's, Spurley Tube closing in just a little bit, but not close enough to make an effort. Off the final turn. For the first time in 5 years, Ty Dent can say he's finally a winner. Ty Dent will score the win. Here's Zandvoort. Well, we got a first-time winner and Ty Dent. Here are your race results. Ty Dent breaks a 5-year losing streak to score his first SCRL Red Bull Formula One Series win. Second is Riley Spurley Tube, so close to getting his second win in a row. Third, Richard Torres. Fourth, Jack Halleck. Fifth, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Sixth, Colin Dryberg. Seventh, Trey Wright. Eighth, Marcus Sassachi. Ninth, Nick Kennedy. He got around Joseph Huffman and Carter Friesen on the last turn. So Nick Kennedy will score his first points of the season. And 10th was Carter Friesen. All 22 drivers finished the race on the lead lap. No one crashed and no one was a lap down. Well, that is it for the 4th race this season here at Circuit Zandvoort. We will take you to victory lane for the first time in 5 years with Ty Dent. Here are your point standings after the 4th race of the season at Circuit Zandvoort. Colin Dryberg is still our points leader. He has a 2-point lead over Riley Spurley Tube. Third is Trey Wright, 3 points behind. Fourth, Marcus Sassachi, 6 points behind. And fifth is Carter Friesen, 8 points behind. Sixth is Sebastian Torres. Seventh is Circuit Zandvoort race winner Ty Dent. 8th, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. 9th, Tony Newman. And 10th is Steve Larker. 11th is Richard Torres. 12th, Tanner Hill. 13th, Jack Hallowett. 14th is Joseph Huffman. 15th, Bryanson Hill. And 16th, Gordon Smith is the last driver to score a point. I mentioned during the race that Nick Kennedy finished 9th, so he would receive points for the first time. I was incorrect. It is actually the first 8 drivers will get points. So Nick Kennedy's still looking for his first points. So Cassie Dent David Solomon, Trevor Collins, Nick Kennedy, Roger McLaughlin, and Patrick Smith are the only drivers who have yet to score any points here in the Formula One division after round 4. We will next see you at round 5 at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park for the Canadian Grand Prix, and until then, keep the hammer down and we'll see you at the track.